Okay, this is probably going to be the most FOMO video I've ever made because I bought both of the Disney Frozen dolls by American Girl without having seen the movie. So, yeah, I just got really excited. I knew people were going to love these dolls, and I thought it would be fun to get one and we can show it off on the channel. And then I thought, I'll watch the movie later. So, yes, I did watch Frozen a few days ago because I got the shipping notification that my Elsa doll had shipped already. I wasn't expecting her until early September, I think. So, much to my delight, I got an email a few days ago saying that Elsa had shipped. And so, yeah, it's been a little bit weird kind of like looking around online and seeing what the story is with everyone, because some people have been getting their Anna dolls early, some are getting their Elsa dolls early, and some people are sitting around listening to crickets. So I am half lucky in this instance that I actually get to see this doll a lot sooner than I thought. So yeah, she literally just arrived in the mail like I would say 11 minutes ago. So it is late in the day because we live in a very rural area and our mail typically shows up very late in the day, if at all. So yeah, she arrived and I sat down to make this video. So it is getting kind of dark outside. We just survived a tropical storm, and so the lighting today is probably going to be a little bit sketchy, but we are going to let it go, and we're going to let Anna, nope, this is Elsa. We're going to let Elsa out of the box. So I will see you on the other side of the intro and we'll have a look at her. All right, so I have actually already heard that these dolls are like semi-sewn into the box, so I will not be taking this doll out of the box today. So if you were hoping to see the back of her head or the back of her dress, you're watching the wrong video, my friend. So yeah, this one's gonna live in the box forever because I have to say I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to keep her, because while I thought Frozen was a good movie and I enjoyed it, I don't think I was inspired to spend $620 on dolls after seeing it. So I think I probably will eventually sell this doll after like the newness wears off. But I have to say, my first impressions is she's very cool. I want to know, especially if some of you have gotten your Elsa dolls already, I'm very curious if you have both her and Cinderella. I believe Cinderella is the lightest skin tone that they've ever made, and I swear this looks to be even lighter than the skin tone for Cinderella. So that is one very cool thing about her. She is very icy looking, and I remember in the videos that I did before kind of talking about like my thoughts about the Frozen dolls, one of the things I mentioned was how specific the color palette is for this movie. So yeah, I think that's really great once we get the box lid off, because as you'll remember, like my biggest criticism about these is these big honkin' red boxes that have like no business in the color palette for the movie Frozen. I really wish America, I'm not going to make like a million Let It Go references today, but I have to say it was like the only thing I knew from the movie for the last 10 years. So, but anyway, I wish American Girl would let go of the red boxes for the collector dolls because it's so jarring. And so, yeah, getting the lid off, I feel like this is so much more interesting to look at because we have a little bit more of a monochromatic color scheme for this doll. So I do think that she looks really, really good. I love her skin tone. As I was saying before, she's incredibly light. I have never seen an American Girl doll with this light of a skin tone. Even her body, I think they've used a lighter fabric for her torso because this, I mean, it's almost peachy. It's super duper light. And again, it's not a color that I've ever seen before. I have been buying a lot of new American Girl dolls, so I've gotten a pretty decent education in what American Girl is up to these days, and I haven't seen anything quite like this, which is really exciting. But I will say, yeah, a lot of my first impressions, just seeing the dolls, like the pictures of them, have pretty much been confirmed. I will say, like, this, especially after seeing the movie and really kind of like paying attention to what the dolls, the characters' outfits look like, I will say this, like, I think this, is this called a bustier, a corset? Whatever this, like, top half is on her outfit, like, this is so, like, I hate this fabric. This, like, sequined fabric is very, very cheap looking, like a cheap, like, dance costume. Whereas everything else, I think, actually looks pretty good. Everything Elsa looks pretty good. Unfortunately, she is sewn into her box, which kind of goes to show how much American Girl really is anticipating most collectors leaving these dolls in the box for display, which again just makes my point that we don't need big red boxes for things like this. So because she's sewn into the box, I don't want to cut these like stitches that are holding her in, because as I kind of alluded to, I don't think I'm going to be keeping this doll. So I want to try and keep her as pristine as possible, because somebody else will end up with this doll eventually. So another thing I will say, just in terms of like negative things, just to get them out of the way, because overall I really do like the doll. One thing I will say that's kind of a negative for me is that I feel like we paid too much money for these Swarovski crystals, because I have to like be so for real right now. Like, what do you notice the most when I like show like the doll's outfit like this? I feel like I'm noticing like the cheap sequin fabric on the bustier bodice. I don't know what it's called, but I'm noticing this a whole lot more than these like Swarovski crystals that I feel like I paid like $125 for to be on this doll. So, and I know there are a lot of them. It's not that they're ugly, but honestly, like sequins would have gotten the job done and would have saved us a lot of money. So that's sort of like one of my bigger critiques with the doll. I will say I love the overall construction of the outfit. I think it looks really good. It looks like it fits her, and I love a mesh top. It's very 90s looking. So I think the top, other than the fabric, does look pretty good and it fits her well. It's just such a shame that I feel like I can't take her out of the box because she's sewn in. But other than that, like she would probably be pretty easy to take out because she's sort of got a similar box style to the Create Your Own dolls. But yeah, if I really peek down into here, like her shoes are really cool. I love the shoes. And again, nothing unexpected as far as like the outfit and accessories go. I think it all looks pretty good. I think the biggest unexpected thing about the outfit, I have to say, is just that like how underwhelming the presence of Swarovski crystals are. So yeah, that's really my biggest note, is we don't need the crystals. If you really love sequins this much, you can put them around on the rest of the outfit and save us some money. But yeah, all in all, I think the doll looks great. I think her hair color, I'm actually gonna grab my Create Your Own doll really quick because I actually have a doll with the lightest blonde. I'm kind of curious how the hair color compares with this to the lightest color from the Create Your Own generator. So let me grab my mini me real quick. This is my mini me, who I've been calling Nathan, and he has to wear sunglasses on camera because otherwise the camera thinks that he is a person and I am not. So I'm always out of focus when he doesn't have glasses on. But anyway, yeah, so he has the lightest blonde color hair, and we did unbox him on the channel in another video. If you want to hop back to see the design process for all of that and watch me unbox him, it was a really fun video to make. And I guess also another sidebar, he is wearing a partial Gap collab outfit, which actually, let me know, do you want to see a Gap collab video? I will make it if enough of you want to see it, but it's already sold out and I don't know how many of you are actually interested in it. But if you want to see me unbox and dress a doll in this outfit, let me know, I'll make the video. But yeah, so anyway, I'm talking like 1,000 miles a minute, so hopefully I'm not giving you anxiety watching this video, but I gotta say, this is not the same color as Elsa's hair. So I'm trying to like do all of this on camera, but I don't know if you can tell super easily by what I've done here, but Elsa's hair is actually lighter than the Create Your Own generator dolls. So I think that's actually really awesome because, again, it just sort of gives you a point of difference for the dolls. Like if you're paying $310 for a doll, it's nice that they have features that you can't get in any other dolls. So I do think her hair looks really good. I have to say, it's always so strange to me when dolls fresh from the factory will have flyaways in their braid. I don't understand how they can't like make the wigs just a little bit longer so that these flyaways don't like pop out of the braid. It looks a little bit rebraided to me because of the flyaways coming out of it. But I really do love the color. I will say it's a little yellow compared to her skin tone. So there is a little bit of clashing in terms of like the skin being a little bit warmer and the hair being a little bit cooler. But all in all, it's really not that bad. I will say her lip color is super great. It's a very like bright coral pink, and I think it really pops against all of the blue and her very, very light skin tone. Her eye color, I think they probably went with something that was, if I had to guess, I would say, I don't know who has this eye color. I'm sure they have at least one other doll with this eye color, but this eye doesn't really look custom to this doll because, again, it looks very like almost like a teal color, and I feel like they should have gone with like a little bit more of an icy color just to kind of like make all of this look a little bit more cohesive and monochromatic. But yeah, as far as the hair goes, I will say like the hairstyle isn't quite like what it was in the movie. And I kind of touched on that in the previous video that, you know, she was supposed to have sort of like a Paula Deen or like Frost from Mortal Kombat like set of bangs where they like just kind of like whoosh back in the wind. And all she really has like is this little tendril right here, and the rest of it is like braided back into her hair. Although I'm very curious what's going on at the top here. They've obviously done some sort of like bump it situation, because every doll that I've seen, including mine, has like a very like triangular like head shape. And again, it's, I think, meant to mimic the shape that her bangs make. So I do like it. I actually think that it was a clever way to do that, because I'm guessing they just could not figure out how to make the bangs like look sculpted but not like helmet hair. So I feel like this is a pretty decent interpretation, but it just isn't quite Elsa, I feel like. As many of you know, I don't want to say despise. I think it's like kind of mean to the people that designed and made these things, but I will say I very much do not care for the eyebrows on this doll or any of the collector, or not even the collector dolls, any of the Disney dolls that they've made this year. I don't know what's up with the eyebrows on them. I feel like they look very much microbladed and just like choppy. And even if they're going for like a sort of like illustrated look, to me, it still looks very odd. Like in person, I feel like I like them even less than I do in pictures, which says a lot, because in pictures I don't even care for them. So I will say, probably of all of the things I dislike about the doll, which aren't a lot, because like I said, I do think this is a great doll, I think my least favorite thing is still the eyebrows. I think they leave a lot to be desired and probably need a little bit more work. Her makeup looks pretty good. It's not super shiny, so you really can only see like the iridescentness of it by like changing it to like a steep angle. But like, just to look at my doll straight on, it almost looks like she just has kind of like dark creases above her eyelids. So yeah, the makeup isn't super duper prominent, but that's okay. That's not a huge fault for me. But overall, I don't feel like I've gotten any like major flaws on the doll. I will say her ears do not look like they are pierced perfectly symmetrically. I think I've got one earring that's like a little bit off center, but I think especially for a doll like that's on display like this, it's not super noticeable. But I do kind of get the sense a little bit that they might have rushed these dolls a little bit. I'm not entirely sure, because they did ship early. And like I said, no like major egregious errors. I'm really kind of nitpicking here. I think if you really love the movie Frozen, this is still a really great doll. And I think she looks quite unique for an American Girl doll. Like, you're not going to put this doll on your shelf and be like, oh, this looks like 10 other dolls in my collection. I think especially with the unique hair color that she has, as well as her skin tone, it's like super crazy light. And on top of that, they did the Marie Grace face mold, which I think is really great. I think it probably would have been an easy choice to go with Josefina, because it's one that they love to use. But I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of Marie Grace in the future, because we're seeing quite a bit of it with the Disney dolls, and it seems to be really popular. So I would expect to see more. I think it looks really great in person. Out of curiosity, I'm gonna see if I can find the certificate of authenticity and see what number I got. And in case you're wondering, you basically have to pull the doll out of like the red casing. So you kind of have this like little insert that's sitting in the outer red box, and that's where the COA is. And it looks like I got number 3,562, so nothing particularly remarkable. I'm like right at the middle. And I will say I ordered this doll the day it was released, because again, FOMO. But judging on past releases of American Girl dolls that are like limited edition, I don't think that the number that you get has anything to do when you ordered it. And I feel like even with, maybe it was the FAO doll, they, I think, did them in reverse order, which I think is kind of messed up. I feel like people tend to want a lower number than a higher number, just as a general rule. And so it kind of sucks if you were like the first person to order the FAO doll. You got like number, I don't know how many they made, I forgot, but you get like one in the high thousands. And then like the last person was like, I guess I'll order this doll because it's on sale, got number one. I think that's kind of crazy. So I do wish there was a way that they could kind of let the first person that ordered them get number one, because I think that would help like agitate people a little bit, so that when it comes out, they like want to place the order right away so they can get a super low number. But maybe that's not a big deal to other people. But yeah, for me, I would love to have a really low number, because I just think it I don't know, I just think it's kind of cool and a little bit more collector-y. But yeah, all in all, this is an amazing doll. I really love that American Girl is starting to speak a little bit more to adult collectors, because I think there will probably be a good number of children that end up receiving this doll, but I do think that it was made with adults in mind, which is really great. I think it helps us feel a little bit more visible, and the more of us that there are that are buying more expensive, interesting dolls, it kind of gives them permission to really start to push the boundaries with design and quality, because they know that there are enough freaks like me that are going to pay over $300 for a doll, and we want to see stuff that's like really kind of wacky, or at least I do anyway. Like, I'm really excited for what they might be potentially doing with the Barbie and American Girl collaborations. So I love the existence of these things, and I think especially because we've seen just recently Rapunzel was released as a Playline doll. I think we can probably expect, maybe if these sell well, which they are, I feel like these, last time I checked the numbers, I think Anna is almost sold out. There's fewer than 1,000 of her left. And because they made like, I think 7,000 of this doll, she's probably going to be around for a little bit longer, but I completely lost my train of thought. But all of that was to say, I'm just really excited about the collector range, because I think that it really is an opportunity for them to like take risk and do things that are really interesting, because they have to sell fewer of them to make a profit because they're so expensive. So I'm really, really excited to see what's to come. I think I just remembered what I was going to say, and that's that I do think that if these dolls sell well, we are going to see a Playline version of them probably in about a year, based on what happened with Rapunzel. So I would not be surprised if somewhere around like July of next year, we see these dolls basically get sort of pared back a little bit. So no Swarovski crystals, and, you know, maybe some cheaper details on the outfits. But I would imagine we're going to see a Marie Grace doll with this skin tone and this hair in a similar hairstyle with maybe a slightly cheaper outfit. And we'll probably see that sometime in July of next year, probably for half the price or less than what I paid for this one. So I think, fear not, if you really want a Frozen doll and you just feel like $300 is way too much to spend on these, I do feel like you're probably going to have an opportunity to get the doll and have one that you can enjoy a little bit more. So I feel like, based on the numbers and how quickly these dolls are selling, I imagine that's probably going to happen. So I don't have a shipping notification on my Anna doll yet, and I have to say that was the doll that I was actually the most excited to receive. I sort of just got her as like part and parcel with Anna, because I really loved the Joss face mold, which is what Anna is made with, and her outfit, from what I could see in pictures, was really, really, really well made. So I was really excited to see that in person. In addition to that, I loved her hairstyle and everything. And interestingly, like, now that I've sat down and watched the movie, I did not realize Anna was the main character. I always assumed it was Elsa was the main character, because she was sort of like the front and center character on most of the merch. But to watch it, I mean, unless I've interpreted the movie incorrectly, but I feel like Anna was the main character and this girl was sort of the side piece. But yeah, like I said, I did enjoy the movie. I thought it was really funny, especially the character Olaf was like a treat in the movie. But I think it's just different for me. I really love nostalgia. Like, that's the thing that really gets me. And so Frozen isn't nostalgic for me, because I was, you know, in my 20s when the movie was released and wasn't really paying much attention to things in the Disney universe at the time. So this is really like the first time I've been truly exposed to Frozen. So because it doesn't have that nostalgic pull for me, it's sort of like, I think it's a great movie, but it just doesn't give me like the warm fuzzies in the way like Vintage Pleasant Company does. So yeah, I think ultimately I will end up finding new homes for these dolls. And I just want to be completely transparent about that, because I know a lot of people use my videos to determine whether or not they want to buy something. And I also like want to discourage people from just buying everything in sight, even though it's kind of seems like that's what I've been doing lately. So yeah, I just want to be sure that like I'm completely transparent about the things that I know I will not be keeping. So I'm not like talking you into spending like $600+ on something because you think it's going to change your life for the better. And then you get it and you're like, oh, it was just a doll. Anyway, yeah, my thoughts on this doll, really, really great. If you love Frozen, I would say pick it up if you feel like you can spare the extra $300. But if you don't want to spend that much, I really think that we're going to be getting Playline versions of these dolls in the next next year or so. So if you could be a little bit patient and not worry about who has what doll online, I think you'll probably be pleasantly surprised this time next year. Don't forget that my channel is completely fan funded. So if you want to check me out on Patreon, the link is in the description. It is the best thing you can do to help support my channel so I can continue making doll videos on the internet. Also, be sure to shop at my online shop. Also, the link is in the description. I have lots of awesome merch, and I've been adding more vintage American Girl stuff to the product line. So every couple weeks or so, I'll just go through my closet where all my doll stuff is stored and just pick through things that I don't need anymore. It's typically something that I might have multiple duplicates of, or if I just catch a wild hair and decide I'm going to try and downsize my collection a little bit, I'll go straight to my shop and add some things. So be sure to check that out. And if you're on Patreon, you get an extra discount on it. So if you want to help support this channel, that is the best way to do it. If you enjoyed today's video, please hit the like button. That does actually help my video out, as well as a channel subscription. So if you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you here so you can keep watching me make these insane videos every week or so. You can catch me on TikTok and Instagram at idreamofjohnny. But if you want to keep hanging out on YouTube, I have tons of other videos like this one right here, and I hope to see you there. Bye now.